too. There's something about finally being able to like wrap a towel over your head. Like, I never been able to do that because I didn't have the skills to. And also my hair was a bit bigger. Like it was a bit, it's big and you know, it's an afro, so don't usually have it wrapped around like this. I mean, but even then, like, I don't know, it's just easy today, and it looked good, and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And I'm like glowing, and I look young, and I look like, and I'm like, what? Is this what inner child healing do? Shout out to everybody who has helped me heal. Shout out to all of you. I already cut you off though, but thank you for the lessons. I'm grateful. But ultimately the lesson came from God, so all praises due to him. You know? Like what? Look at this. Like, it's such a an allure. You hear me? It's such an allure. What if I stick it in the middle of my head like this? Oops. You won't go. It was like my third eye mask. My third eye shield. Like, you trying to tell me what, nigga? That's crazy though. So anyways, if you're in the phase of your life where you're starting to be able to like hear other people's intention word for word, just what you're able to hear, what is being revealed to you about the other person, things that are around you, and you're just like, how the fuck do I know this? Why me? Or like, why is it being revealed to me? And why are they even thinking like that? And it's kind of scary, but accept it, 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 so that you'll never accept it so that the period of paranoia that will be coming after that will be a little more easier to navigate. Yeah. And it'll just be a little easier once you know that, yeah, you can actually hear things, you can actually know the intention of things, you actually feel the energy, you actually know what you know, and things that are being revealed to you just for you, you can trust that. You can trust it because you're about to like be put through some situations that are just normal. But because you're like opening up to this like level of, you know, but when of unknown that it has been revealed to you, the things that are normal are gonna be scary because you're like seeing the things that you're usually unaware of, but now you are, and you're like, it can be scary. You know, it can be scary once you really know what other people's intentions are. Once you really know what it is, it can be scary because you never expected it, and you're like, I'm standing right here, I'm sitting right here, and that's your intention, nigga. Wa la la. just back off, you know. But sometimes you're also like pushed to do things, to like be in these situations that are normal, you know, to every other people, because they're like, everybody have intention, that's normal. But everybody may never really get to awaken that gift, or have their other people's intention be revealed to them in ways that the other person, you know, never said it. But the other person will say it once it's revealed to you. It will sound like the person has said it from their mouth, because you will hear their voice and you feel like they're talking to you, but you know, you're looking at them and they're just, and you're like, but I'm hearing you in my head, your voice in my head. So yeah, that is a thing. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you can really feel the energy of a building, the energy of an event, and it can be overwhelming because you feel like something big is gonna happen, and it might just be the energy of everybody in that place, where it's like everybody is so excited and high vibration, you know, and you're just feeling like, whoa, what the heck? But also you can feel the negative energy heavily too. So everything is heightened. So the joy is heightened, you're elevated, but at the same time you're also like anxious and like paranoid, and you're like, what the fuck is this feeling? You know, I've never been paranoid like this before. Well, it's because, you know, you're becoming more aware of things, and many things are being brought to your awareness all at once. So it might startle you at first, you know. You may be like unfamiliar with it, and that's why it gives you that sense of like paranoia or like anxiety, because you're like, can I really trust this? You know, can I trust what I'm feeling, what I'm hearing, what's being revealed to me? Because why is it being revealed to me specifically at this time? You know, it seems like, why? It's like a big why. Why me? Why this? Why do I have to go through this? You know, why did I have to be me? Like, why did I have to like witness what's being revealed to me? I want it to stay hidden, you know. I want it to stay like cloaked from me. I want it to be behind that veil. I never wanted to look beyond that veil. But like, you know, sometimes they're just opening the veil for you, and they're just like, look, and you're like, the fuck? You know, you're like, what the heck, man? Like, I didn't. Can you close that fucking curtain? Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, can you close that curtain? Like, ain't nobody want to see all that energy and intentions floating around, all that vibrate. No. You know, because some people are really evil, and you get to hear it. But some people are just like, sometimes it's just like, you'd be surprised the amount of like, for me personally, if you're somebody who's like sensual and like super, you know, rooted in your sacral, you know, somebody who's always creating, so that like, you know, you're fertile, and you're like, you know, you have this sense of like sensuality about you that people are just like, oh, like, you're so like, they want to like sometimes when you're just talking to people, you can feel their like sensual energy, and you're just like, okay. But when their intentions are revealed to you, you know, as somebody who's sensual, their thoughts are very sexual, okay, about you. And it's like, excuse me, right in my face. But the thing is, it sounds normal, you know, when you're talking about it now, when you're discussing it now. But when you're in a situation where it's being revealed to you, these things that are seemingly normal now, you know, like people having like sexual thoughts about you right in front of you, that's normal. But once you like, but it's unfamiliar when you actually hear their voice, their thoughts in your head, and you're like keep it to yourself. But you know, it's like they are, but you're just being you're just, I'm seeing a white butterfly, purity. Oh no, where are you going? Don't usually see white butterflies around here because there's no plants and stuff, but it's flying, it's purity. So I guess I will be talking about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit. So one, like how I navigated my like experience was, you know, I understood like few things when it was being revealed to me. You know, I understood that these were the people that I kept around, that I call friend, you know, that I have like a relationship with. And I know that the things that are being revealed to me are only being revealed to me, and they are unable to like see or hear what I'm hearing, right? And that's okay. So first thing I was able to understood was apply no judgment on them for their thoughts towards you. Apply no judgment upon their intention towards you, because and you necessarily just let it go. Like, it's being revealed to you, you hear it, you know it, just let it go, because they have no idea that this is being revealed to you. So it might just be a fleeting thought for them, you know. It might just be like something that they try to give no attention to, but they somehow unknowingly gave too much attention to it, so that you're aware of it on a level. They may just want you to let it go, you know. So just let it go. Do them a favor, do you a favor, let it go. And one thing I also understood was this is something that they're unable to control, you know. They're unable to control. Like, come on, if they knew that I could hear their intention and their thoughts towards me, they would do their best to like at least control it, like the way they control their words and their actions towards me, you know. They would actually try to control that too. But because this is their own free will, like, this is just their mind, this is their space, you know, their space to think whatever they want to think, feel whatever they want to feel, have whatever intention they want to have, you know. It is important that I respect that. It is important that I respect that. Like, when that was being revealed to me, I was shocked, you know. I was like, she's shocking, you know. I was like shocked, you know. But then I was like, I made no fuss about it, because I knew that this is out of their control and it's out of mine too. So I'm just like, it was intense, but I was like, it's okay, like, it's okay. Now I know, at least, you know. Now I know how you feel, or like how you're feeling, a little bit of it. So like, it's all true. And then what else did I understand? I understand that I'm gonna start hearing a lot of it. Like, this is the first time it may be clear, you know. The first time is always gonna be clear. It's gonna come with clarity that it's like you're unable to ignore it. Because the first time I felt the presence of awareness, it was I was unable to like ignore it. So the things that you're literally unable to ignore, that's like the universe just forcing you, kind of just putting it into your face, because they're so happy to show it to you. And you know, they have good intentions, right? But you might feel a little bit of fear and that's okay. You might even be startled, and that's like a lot of energy. Like it's a little bit of a resistance, but it will never stop you from seeing what you're meant to see. So the first time I felt awareness was like, I was like shocked. I was like, now, out of all the time, this is when you want to show me awareness. And awareness really come in a form. Like the first time awareness was like brought to me, you know, it was like I felt that my eyes were just like, I felt so in my pupil, you know, like I felt like all my being was in my pupil. That like out of all my entire body, where I reside was my pupil, was my eyes. I could look around and all, but you know, I was like, damn, like, and I was in my head. I was like over here. I was over here because I was like, oh shit, something very dangerous is going on here. You know, like the awareness came when the situation was getting like, it's like one wrong move and you're fucked. You feel me? And it was like, oh shit, like yeah, and like the safest move that you could like really do was like use your discernment. It was like use your discernment against this entity called awareness, because you can become aware of everything, but you need to discern what's actually for you. Because once again, I got out of that night safely, either because of like my awareness, either because of the discernment, or either because like it was never really about me in the first place, you know. But I felt the energy and I was just like, oh my god, like they want somebody to like leave. They literally want somebody to leave, and I'm like, is it me? Because I ain't moving, like I'm unable to move. So I'm like, you know, like there's no command for me to move, despite like the awareness around me pushing something to move, like bitch you better leave, like some shit like that, you know, like. And I was just like, damn, like I just kind of like only got to like stood there and was like keep calm, like despite how like scary it felt, like the situation around me, because there were like, you know, people with guns, and there were like drug dealers, and there were like pretty dangerous things going on. There were cops and stuff, and there were like people in the room, you know, that's what they were. And I was just on E. And I was just like, all of this for me, like I had to really like discern where I was standing, you know. So I just stood there until I was able to discern where I was in the entire situation. So I was just like, damn, nigga, like, shit. I was like, shit. I just stood there, and then there was like this one awareness telling me first. The awareness will bring to you what you need to discern. So it would bring things to you. Like the first thing awareness said to me was regarding hell and heaven. And I was just like, no? Hell and heaven? No? I was like, bitch, am I wrong? Am I going? So then my discernment and myself started to think, like, am I doing something wrong? That like, if I were to die right now in this second, because this is a life and death situation, so if I were to die right now, would I go to hell or would I go to heaven? You know, would I be in despair or would I go to an everlasting garden? So I was just stood there until I could I was unable to make a move, because why would I make a move if it was a life and death situation? You know, if I was hanging by a thread, why would I make stupid moves? You know, that's what I understood. Oh, she buttered. Let me just push this back a little. And yeah, I was just, damn, he's recording? Okay. So yeah, I was just like, fuck, dog. I was like, darn. I was like, ooh. I was like, this is serious. Like, this is serious. Because why has awareness asked me to think about hell and heaven? You know, and then after that, when I discerned that, like, you know, this is something that, like, God could forgive me for. For real. So I started asking for forgiveness. You know, I started asking for forgiveness from God. I started repenting for my sins in a way where, like, no desperation needed, because it was like discern. The awareness also told me, you know, that this was a life and death situation. That this is something you needed to think about, like, for real. Think about it without taking any action. Just think about it. So I thought about it, and in my head I just repented, because that was like something I could do with my thoughts. So then after I was able to repent, I was able to move a little. Like, I was starting to move a little. I was able to start, like, taking in my environment, because, like, once the first time the awareness hit me, I was, like, looking straight forward up into the ceiling, you know, and I was just like, I was like, what's going on around me? They're partying around me, but, like, I'm like, bitch, somebody about to die. Somebody really dislikes somebody in here. Somebody big dislikes somebody in here. Somebody big dislikes somebody in here, and they're willing to waste a bullet on you. You know, like, oh, they're willing to do something for you. And I was just like, that was the energy that was around us that caused me to, like, even though the energy was around me, that was like, you know, I'm willing to waste a bullet on somebody, instead of, like, being like, oh, like a rat, you know, like a cockroach, like a dumbass. I knew that, like, I had to first discern who was it that wants to waste a bullet, and who are they willing to waste a bullet on? Is it a group of people, or is it just one person? And is this somewhere I'm in? Like, am I in the crosshair? You know, you really, am I bitch? But the thing is, I stood next to the corner, so I was like, either way, if it was me, they'd be able to take me out without, like, hurting anybody, hopefully. Yeah, but hopefully. But yeah, I was just like, it's cool. It's cool. I already repented to God. So if you were to take me out now, bitch, I'm okay. I'm fine. Like, you can take me out. It's okay. But I repented to God, and then I was able to, like, start, like, taking in the environment, lowering my eyes to look into the environment, and I was just seeing the people, and it looks different, because I've been to this place, like, a couple of times, alright? So, like, I know, like, the vibe, kind of, but the vibe was so different that day, that I was like, are these people actually having fun? Because do they hear the music that is playing? The music has subliminal messages in it. And the subliminal messages were just so loud to me that I was unable to hear the song. So I was just, like, listening to this, like, instead of listening to the music and partying with other people, I was unable to dance that day. I was unable to, like, have fun or enjoy that day, despite the songs being my favorite. It was just the message was pretty loud. You know, the message was pretty much like, somebody needs somebody to give them back their money. And I was just like, bitch, I have no money for you, you know, because I know for goddamn well I owe nobody that damn money. So now I know that this situation is clearly unrelated to me. So I was able to, like, at least, like, have that sense of relief and, like, safetyness. So, like, what I heard, like, the music was just like, damn, the music was hard. Like, I'll never forget, like, how I heard it in this ear, because I mean, I'm hearing it, and at the same time I'm like, why are you sending subliminal messages in the song if possibly the other person, I mean, I have no idea who you're really talking to, but is that person actually hearing the music, like the message that you're sending? Like, why do you have to torture me with this fucking bullshit, is what I was, like, trying to say. Because, like, clearly it's, like, unrelated to me, but I'm the one hearing all the things that you are, like, doing, you know, like, all the magic that you're doing. I'm able to see and hear that, and I'm just like, this is such a stressful situation to be in, despite it being unrelated to me because of like the magic. It was so loud. The magic was so loud. I was like starting to like think about the magic. I was starting to like, where did you get this magic from? Because like I'm hearing like it's from somewhere like Cambodia. So I was like, oh, that's harsh. Cause I'm like I started thinking about myself. I started thinking about my roots. I was like, well, I'm like, you know, I'm like Thai and like Senegalese, so like yeah, like I'm into like I have like Sufism, you know, I have the power of like the love of God as my magic, if that's what you would like to call it. That's my magic is like angelic, and like with the love of God, that's my magic. And then I started thinking about my other roots, my Thai roots, my Persian roots. Is that another butterfly but a different color? Like, was that a really small bud? But anyways, I was like thinking about it, and I was like, my other roots are like, you know, Persian, and we do, I guess, I'm like, we're slave traders. I don't know why I had to bring up the slave traders, because like, I guess it's to like put in a position where like, you know, since I'm like this color, people might want to like, you know, racism and shit. And like also like about like you know, slavery is such a thing, right? But I needed to remind myself like who the fuck I was in that position, you know, where I came from, like what role did I play in the in this history, you know. We played no role as a slave, but we played a role as a slave trader. So we brought slaves, you know, and the slaves were just very normal. Back then, I guess, you know, slaves are normal. So yeah, I was just like there, and I was just thinking about my roots, and I was just like, yeah, well, I guess we do some battle things, and like pretty high, like it was, awareness has like allowed me to know who I am, despite like the dangerous situation that I'm in, because it's this dangerous situation that allows me to think about myself in such a way, you know. So after like being able to like understand like, you know, who they were and what they use, you know, because like no shade to Cambodian like magic, you know, like, I mean, I'm like, ooh, I mean like especially if you're Thai, like you know that shit fire, so you know that's some real shit going on. So I was like, I better watch my fucking 5'2", you know, I better watch my mouth. I was like, I better watch my mouth, and I better watch myself. I better watch my act. I better watch myself. So like I was like, shit, this ain't the night for me to party, but I'm having fun. I'm having fun staying alive, you know. I'm having fun staying alive. So I was like, shit, I want to go to the toilet. I was like, now I'm starting to decide, like, I want to get out of this situation, but what is the best way for me to get out of this situation, you know, without like causing like a little stir? Because like some people, when you're in this like tension of like wanting to like murder somebody, you know, it's very easy for you to like get startled at like a fucking like a squirrel, you know, in the corner. like you might just shoot that squirrel and never feel anything about it because it's just a squirrel, and you're just, that's obviously just a random thing, and your tango is still in your you know, in your sight. But like I was that squirrel, so I had to like, I had my squirrel ass, I had to watch what I was doing and how I moved, you feel me? So I was like, dang nigga. So I started to look around and look at myself, you know. I started to look down on myself in this situation. I started to like see what I'm wearing, and I'm like, okay, I was wearing like wearing a pretty dope outfit. So I was like, okay, at least I was like, at least I'm wearing a dope outfit. Thank God I'm wearing a dope outfit. So I was like, shit, like I'm low-key like fitting in, but barely, you know. I'm low-key standing out, low-key, like, I'm literally standing out. So I started to like notice that whoever this was about, it was in like the middle of the room, and I was just standing outside of it. So, but it's still in the room, you know, but I was just standing outside of it. So I was like, I'm safe. But you know, even in soccer, like people kick the ball out of like the fucking field, you know. So like, yeah, like that, anything could come to me. Like I could be roped into this without me really wanting to be roped into it. So I was like, shit, but I was like, I was like, nah. So I looked at myself and I was like, alright, I look good. And the people around me would give a fuck that I look good. You know, and I know they give a fuck that I look good. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm okay, I'm safe. It was the dumbest thing ever. Cause I started to look with the people I came with and I was like, these niggas are oblivious to the fact that this is happening right now. And I was just so disturbed because I was like, damn, look at them having fun and I'm out here aware, using my discernment. And I had responsibility that day to like, I had a sense of responsibility that day to like take care of others. So of course, like, I was unable to leave without them because if I leave, like, I'm never coming back, nigga. So I was like, you know, let me just stay until like I'm directed to do something else, because I already said that I want to leave the situation. So I best believe that I'm gonna leave the situation unscratched. You feel me? Unscratched. So yeah. So the music started to get more intense and I'm just like, let me just look at the people I'm standing next to. Okay, I have no idea who this person is. But then they started to talk to me, so I was like, thank God now I can use my voice. And I was like, shit. I forgot I had a voice. All this thinking got me forgetting that I had a voice. So I was like, I started talking to them a little bit and I was just like, yeah. And at that time I was feeling very like, I needed to lower my head in a way, because I needed to be humble. I needed to be humble. If I was acting crazy, like, they finna shoot my ass, you know, they finna shoot me. And I was like, nah, nigga, I got shit to do, you know. So I was like, nah, let me just be chill, because this, despite knowing it, you know, do I really need to run my mouth about it in that situation? No, I could just be quiet, you know. I could just be quiet. I could just know it. So I was like, cool. I mean, do they know? So that's why I'm like, do they know that I know? You know, because then they might think I'm like trying to disrupt them. So I'm like, okay, now that I see who's next to me, and then I was like, oh shit, who's around me? And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But now I can kind of recognize where it's coming from and why it's being targeted to a society. Because I started to see the tango, and I was like, I need to get out of this tango. I need to get out of the tango's area. But the tango actually left before I could go out. So that was great. The tango left, and then once the tango actually left the room, the tension started to fall. And I was like, okay, so that was the tango. You know, that was the tango. And then this is how I got to leave that room. Like, damn, I started to feel towards like the people I was coming with, and I was like, oh, this person gives a fuck. Like, they would throw me under the bus. Like, I could feel that. Like, I could feel that they would throw me under the bus. Definitely. And I was just like, I'm in a situation, nigga. Now I'm in a situation for real. Because that was unrelated to me, but this is related to me now. And I'm just like, now I'm aware of your intention towards me too, and it's, honey, your mask is falling off. You feel me? So I was just like, I wish you would put that mask back on, sir. I'm just like, I'd even push it on your face for you. So yeah, I was just like, wow, this person gives no fuck. Like, this is like, and in this type of situation, I was like, this foolery, I'm unable. So, yeah. And after that, I started to feel like they kind of like commanded me like a dog, like some sort of like loyal dog. And I was just like, because like something in me, it's like they brought out that loyal dog within me that took command. And I was just so surprised that like this part of self was just moving despite me feeling differently towards it. So then I started to realize that they actually put a spell on me too. So I was like, now I need to break this spell too. Because what the fuck was that? You know, what the fuck was that? Like, clearly that was something my free will had no part in for some reason. And I was like, how's that possible? You know? And then yeah, it was just a crazy thing. I started to realize that day that like a lot of people deserve respect. Like a lot of people deserve respect. So I started showing respect instantly. Cause I was like, if I just start disrespecting anyone right now, like it's done for me. Like it's done for me. So I better start respecting people. Plus it's good to respect people. So I just started respecting people that night. Like I started respecting like the gods, like the security guards. Like I always usually respect them, but that night I was able to like express my respect to them, you know. Like I started to like actually verbalize it and like make it into an action. I took it a little bit further to just show them that I actually do respect them, because I'm like, they deserve it right now. It's because after what happened, I'm sure they're aware of it too, you know, because before that they were aware of like what weapons were being brought into like the room, you know. So and I happened to just be walking by and I just saw that weapon and I was like, are you flashing that gun at me, sir? Because I'm on E and you're ruining my vibe. You know. But then I started to become aware of it, all the things, and I was just like, oh, it's okay. Like what a night. Like I'm glad that like nobody has died, hopefully, in that area. Maybe they took the business somewhere else, and that's cool, cause like none of my business, you know. I was like, go, it's cool, like if we got to go home or whatever, it's wonderful. But yeah, your psychic abilities can really ruin the fun that you used to be funning with before it revealed itself to you. So yeah, like things that you think are like, oh yeah, it's cool, harmless, you know. But then once you become aware of like the energies behind it and around it, and the energies that are there, but also, you know, you're unable to see it with your naked eye, you know, that will really change the fun for you. Your definition of fun will definitely change after that. So yeah, if you're going through a spiritual ability awakening and you're like, oh, things are no longer fun for me, yeah, I understand you, man. You will find things that are fun for you to do. So never give up on life, despite, you know, seeing all the things that you clearly want to ignore. But yeah, sometimes you just really need to accept it because it's part of you, it's part of who you are, it's part of your purpose. It's going to help you in the future, and it's already helping you the moment it was revealed. Because like imagine that, you know, because if that night awareness hasn't been brought into my consciousness, you know, into my space, I would probably be like dancing, fucking it up with like the op. I would have gotten like, the situation would have been dumb. So yeah, that would have been like way less fun than having to stand there and use my discernment, you know. So yeah, it's all cool. I want to know about your psychic abilities and your experience. So let me know in the comments, I guess, and like and subscribe it. Like and subscribe, and I don't know. Never share it though, because I don't know. Never like, never subscribe. I don't really care, man. Like, I'm just pretty. I'm just pretty and living in my truth.